Okay, we got it.
Perfect. All right, let's see what's live.
So turn this one off. This one on. Okay, there we go. Okay, now let me see if I can get this chat. Here we go. It's amazing.
I know, I'm looking for it. I'm not seeing the live on here yet.
Oh, because it's probably a different. It could be a different channel. Let me just see if I can. Oh, there's 65 people watching, so they're, but that's from yesterday.
Yeah, I don't see it live on your actual YouTube.
Right, because I'm using a different channel. It's actually the Ellie Weber channel.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, because I got kicked off my other channel.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, now I see you.
You got it? You found it?
Mm-hmm.
You're better than me. I'm still searching.
I just typed in your name.
That was smart.
This says there's 10 people watching right now.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you have access to your other one at all?
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal. Okay, I got it. I got the chat.
Okay.
10 people, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Well, we'll run with that then.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're back with Dr. Staci, and we're going to talk about the LifeWave products. And any questions you guys have, please feel free to ask them. We're doing pretty well with this. I mean, a lot of people are interested. I find it's pretty transformative. I mean, I just feel I'm getting a lot done. I'm not so distracted. I mean, I'm a distracted kind of person, but I seem to be functioning. I'm getting more done than usual. That's kind of like my barometer of how things are going.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty common. People say they get more done in a couple of weeks than they've gotten done in years. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is the progression of noticeable effects? This is
yeah. Been taking it for a week. I'm happy to share. Okay, so here's what we notice from people starting in the first 3 to 6 weeks based on clinical studies. So I always like to speak about studies because that's facts, data that we have. You can go to startx39now.com and you'll be able to see all of our clinical studies, all the data, all the research, all the patents. It's all right there on the website. And so David Schmidt is the inventor of this technology, and he's done studies, of course, but so have other doctors and practitioners, scientists across the world. Okay, so it's not just paid LifeWave studied. And so based on the studies, we can see between the 3 to 6 week mark, we start to notice reduction in pain. We start to see improved quality of sleep. We see more mental clarity, which you're experiencing, mental energy, concentration, focus. We start to see more physical energy, more recovery, faster recovery from daily activity and fitness and things like that. And then also faster wound healing. That's between 3 to 6 weeks. Now, sometimes people do notice things before that, but I always, like I said, want to go based on the studies. And so that's a typical person in a clinical study is going to notice something between 3 to 6 weeks. About 80% of the people do. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Sometimes it's 3 to 6 months. But here's some other things that are happening in that first couple months, okay? The first, say, 4 to 8 weeks, right? People start to notice improvements in their digestive system. They notice improvements in their nervous system, which is that you're stressed out. So your nervous system starts to come back into balance around that, that say 2-month mark. We start to see improvements in their immune system, which we know your immune system is housed in your digestive tract, right? So getting your digestion back in a normal, regular schedule. And then, of course, that helps your immune system as well, too. But you want to hear something really interesting? One of my favorite clinical studies that David did is on the heart. And we only have one heart. We also know that the heart is a big issue when we look at death, right? Mortality rate. Number one killer, heart disease. Cardiovascular related diseases are the number one killer. And so we look at our clinical studies and we can see from using the X39 that at 6 weeks, not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but at 6 weeks, we can see the improvement in the function of the entire vascular system, functioning as if it were 8 weeks younger. So every 6 weeks you use this patch, your heart, your entire vascular system are functioning 8 weeks younger. So what does that mean? For example, I was on a call with a doctor earlier and she was asking about heart and ejection fraction, systolic, diastolic, right? What's happening inside of her patient's body? And I said, well, based on this patch, we can see improvement over the course of the weeks, months, years in our clients in improving their functionality of their heart, which of course directly correlates to their ejection fraction, their systolic, diastolic, right? And the functionality that their heart is. I interviewed a doctor about a year, maybe 6 months ago. He had been using this patch for a year. He'd had a heart attack at a younger age. Heart was functioning as if he were 75, his whole entire life. Pharmacist, drugs, got off them, holistic, none of it made his heart function younger. 1 year on this, and his heart went from functioning as a 75-year-old, which it had been doing for the last 30 years since he'd had that heart attack, to functioning as a 35-year-old in 1 year. Okay, so the man's in his mid-60s, but yet his heart's functioning as if he was in his mid-30s after a year. So there is a compound effect. So what you notice in the beginning is different than what you're going to notice 6 months in, 12 months in, right? Because the way this works is it signals your body. So when we take this patch and we put it on, immediately from the second I apply this, it's automatically communicating with my body. Remember, this is non-transdermal, nothing's going in. So this patch signals my body right away to upregulate or to reset a third of the genes, a third back to their young, youthful, healthy state just now, just like that. That's happening. I can't feel that happening, but it's happening, right? Because of course we've done the clinical studies to show that. So right away, my genes are being reset to their young, youthful, healthy state. Well, we know each gene expresses to 1 or 2 other genes. So that's where I talk about that compound effect, day after day, week after week, month after month. The longer I use this, then the more genes that are going to be reset, because genes express to other genes. That's just the cascade effect that happens inside of the body. And when you have young, youthful, healthy stem cells, young, youthful, healthy genes that are mobilized and moving around your body, then young cells, young stem cells go to old organs, old tissues, old cells, and they make them young again. That's regenerative medicine. That's why people pay $25,000, $30,000+ for a stem cell injection of, let's say, umbilical cord donor cells, because they're looking for that regenerative property, their old worn out liver to be young and youthful again, their old worn out knee to be young and youthful again. But obviously that comes, at a price and potential risk. There's potential side effects if cells don't divide correctly. This is not putting anything in your body. So there are no cells going in. This is signaling your body to do what it did when it was a child, which is to have an abundance of young, youthful, healthy stem cells that are going around and doing whatever your body needs in order to repair and regenerate. So progression, noticeable effects, everybody's issues are different. So depending on what's going on with you, we always like to use our health tracker. If you want one, please feel free to comment below. We can get one of those sent to you, but the health tracker helps you keep track of what's going on with you. It helps you keep track of your progress over the days, the weeks, and the months that you're using this patch. And of course, you know, we've talked about other patches. And so when you use other patches at the same time as the X39, then we can actually expedite our results. We know that inflammation is the root cause of disease in the physical body. We can see that. Most all people know they have inflammation. Their doctor said you're full of inflammation. Your joints, your bones, your body, right? And so this patch reduces inflammation. Eon is a patch that helps bring down those inflammatory markers. It helps to bring your body into a calm, rest, relaxed state, parasympathetic state. When we reduce inflammation at the same time, we're increasing our body's own stem cell production. Then you set the body up for a more rapid, dramatic regeneration repair process. We call this the dynamic duo. So if you would like to see things happen faster, which sometimes we are, we don't use microwaves, right? But we are a microwave society. And so we want it now. If you're saying I've been using this for a week, that's fantastic. Not typical that you would notice anything in a week, but maybe if you used a couple other patches at the same time, you could expedite when you do start to feel things, right? Maybe it happens a little bit faster for you. So hopefully that answered your question. Somebody did ask if you can wear all the patches at the same time. You definitely can, but there are certain patches that are daytime only, and there are certain patches that are nighttime only. And so when we look at daytime only patches, we would look at the X39 and the X49 and the Energy Enhancer. These are daytime only. We do notice increase in energy, stamina, endurance, mental energy, physical energy. So these are daytime only. This is the patch that David actually invented first 20 years ago when he was working with the Navy SEALs. And so this is the patch that David invented last. It just came out last year. And so these are daytime patches. All right. So 20 years he's been inventing different patches. And I say invented because the information was downloaded to him by the divine. This was not out here. Transdermal patches were out there, right? Pain patch, nicotine patch, birth control patch. This is non-transdermal. It uses your body's light that we emit, that heat that we emit. We know we're trillions of cells of light. We are more light than we are matter. That's just a fact. Ask any scientist, any researcher, any doctor, anyone that studied the body. You look at cells, the cells are light. And so these patches work with that, with our body's own innate ability to know how to repair itself. So light communicating with light. Evening time patches, there are two patches that you can only use at night. One being Silent Nights, which is for sleep. Don't use that during the day. And the other one is Aloe Vita. Aloe Vita is a nighttime patch as well, too. This one does a lot of amazing things. And I know we've talked about this one before. Obviously, you know this one helps you with sleep, deep sleep, right? Aloe Vita, it actually signals the pineal gland, a peptide in the brain, to be able to reduce oxidative stress, inflammatory stress, to be able to stop or inhibit fast-growing rogue cells in the body. And I know you've talked about things that go rogue inside of the body. And so inhibit those, as well as it works for the outside of the body, the skin. So your eczema, your psoriasis, your dermatitis, your acne, your lines, your wrinkles, your dark spots, you know, all of that. But the thing I think I love about this the most is that it lengthens your telomeres. And your telomeres are little end caps on the ends of your chromosomes, and they determine the length of your life. It's like an eraser. When that eraser on the end of your pencil is gone, it's gone. Cells don't divide anymore correctly. Death. So we want to keep those telomeres long, youthful, healthy, but it's just part of aging. They decline because it's just degeneration's what it is. And so this can help to lengthen those telomeres, as well as we know carnosine protects them. So to answer your question, the other patches can be used day or night. It's your personal choice. Stressed out, Nirvana. Glutathione, boost your immune system, right? Master antioxidant. Same thing, carnosine, Eon, IceWave. These can all be used day or night. It's whatever you want, whatever you need. And of course, you don't need them all. You can use them all. You can use them all at the same time. The first day I met David almost 2 years ago, somebody asked him how many patches he had on, and he said all of them, 12. And at that time, there were not 12 patches. He said, well, there's some in experiments. So And SP6, which is actually sitting right here right now. I don't have the little sleeve for that. I only have the little booklets somewhere, but here it is. So SP6, it's actually the one I pulled off right now because it was what was closest to me. So that's a daytime patch as well too. So if you've had heart surgery or a pacemaker, as with anything, we are never here claiming to treat, cure, or diagnose anything that's going on with you. But we do know from clinical studies that there are no contraindications or interactions with anything that you're currently doing or using. So if you've had surgery, fantastic. This is going to help the body repair faster, right? If you have a pacemaker, again, check with your doctor, but we have thousands of people that have had pacemakers. We have no problems using this technology. Nothing is going in the body. So there's nothing to interact with the communication of your pacemaker and your heart. This is signaling a peptide in the body. So for example, X39 signals a peptide, which is called GHKCU. It declines as you age. And so it is a peptide that you need, would be beneficial in your aging process to reverse that age, right? It's the one that resets the genes. When we look at X49, it signals a different peptide, a daughter peptide. It's great for the heart as well, too. EON signals a peptide in the liver, totally different. Fantastic for the heart. One of the inflammatory markers that this patch reduces is called fibrinogen. Fibrinogen is a blood clotting factor. And if you've looked at anyone that's received the jab, we can see that their fibrinogen is thick and clumpy, which means their blood is not working well, right? Things are not moving in and out throughout the circulatory system. And so being able to reduce your fibrinogen, lower your fibrinogen, it's a direct relation to coronary artery disease. You can Google fibrinogen and heart disease, and you can see the reduction of heart disease when you can keep the fibrinogen at a nice, normal, balanced level. More so than cholesterol. Cholesterol is a way to sell pills, right? So you can't sell pills for fibrinogen. You can't do it, you can't do that, but that's one of the things this does. And the other thing for the heart is carnosine. Carnosine is amazing for the heart. Signals totally different peptide, totally different to help. Actually, if you just Google carnosine and heart, you can see, not our clinical studies, but you can see with carnosine that it actually clears clogged arteries. So if you signal your body to make more of its own carnosine, what do you think it would do in the heart? We could make that analogy that it may do the same thing, that assumption, right? Hypothesis, it might be the same kind of response. So hopefully that answers your question on heart. You may keep going, just answer their questions.
Yeah, sure. I have one question. SP6, could you go over that one again?
Yeah, absolutely. SP6 is a patch that balances your endocrine system. So your endocrine system is like your pituitary, your hypothalamus, your thyroid, your adrenals. It also balances your organs. So when we do our clinical studies, we look at different systems in the body and different organs and how this patch is going to impact those systems or organs. So this one, if you look anything with your endocrine system.
And the one that was specifically for the pineal gland?
That's your Alavita.
Alavita, right, okay.
Mm-hmm. You use this at night.
Great.
Yeah.
Any questions? Do you ship to Canada? I know Canada was an issue, right?
Yes. So let me back up real quick and I'll get to Canada in a second. So any leeway on that 12-hour on, 12-hour off, like a 1 or 2 hour variance. So 1 or 2 hours is not going to make a big difference. The patches are designed to wear for 12 hours, take them off and throw them away. Or if you have a pet, put this in your pet bed to help your pet recover and repair and help them to stay young and youthful, or on their collar, something like that. But patches are 12 hours. After that 12 hours, our body needs a break from that patch, from that signal. So I can put this on during the day, I can take it off and I can put this on at night, signaling different peptides, perfectly fine. But your body needs that break to repair and regenerate that 12 hours off. If you happen to leave it on 13 hours, it's perfectly fine. It's not going to hurt you. If you happen to, only wear it 11 hours, again, it's perfectly fine. It's still working. The thing is, if you wear it for a 24-hour period, say my X39, I put it on this morning at 7 o'clock. Say I forget and I go to bed and I sleep in it. That's happened before. Take it off tomorrow morning, throw it away. and then just give yourself that 24-hour break. Your body needs a break to repair and regenerate. It's like a light in your room. You want to give that light some time off. You don't want to leave the light on all the time or it'll burn out. So that's a great question. As far as parasites that cause inflammation, so I think it's fantastic to detox from parasites. Obviously, there are a lot of different types of detoxes out there. I think that's very beneficial. We have a full moon coming up on the 5th. So if you're going to parasite detox, you need to start on the 3rd, if all possible. To be able, that's when they're the most active, right, around the full moon, which is why sometimes people are like crazy. They have parasites going rampant in their body. So parasite detox is super important. I've always been a proponent of that. I've been detoxing parasites for over 15 years, not on a regular basis, because, you know, I have a very clean diet and I stay very detoxed. But if you've never done a parasite detox, oh my gosh, you're going to need to get your body cleaned out, right? If you eat meat, if you eat fruits or vegetables, all of those things have parasites, right? The dirt has parasites. How many of you guys have had ringworms, or your kids have come in and they've had ringworms from playing in the dirt, right? It's just part of being, you know, human. We deworm our pets and our cows and our horses. Like, why would we not deworm ourselves? So I think it's really beneficial. But parasites can definitely cause inflammation in your body, and that's, you know, a great thing to obviously eliminate. As far as Canada, so here's the deal with Canada. Bless Health Canada's soul, because Health Canada last year decided, you know, after 20 years of working with LifeWave, they decided that they wanted to monitor what patches they were offering to the Canadians for obvious reasons. If you know, you live in Canada, you know why they wanted to monitor you. But they still do offer IceWave right now. And they offer our Alavita day and night cream. So not the patch, but the day and night cream is available right now. We have been told by corporate, I talked to Garrett actually at corporate, who is the VP of US sales, North American sales. We talked yesterday morning, and he said right now it's set to go in April to be able to open Canada back up. Health Canada has approved, they've checked it off. They're reviewing all of our marketing materials one more time. We had to reword things for them. And so we should be good to go to ship everything else back into Canada besides the IceWave and Alavita in April. I've had people say, well, what if I live in the US and I can just ship it over to the people I know in Canada? You can try. I don't know. I cannot guarantee you they're not going to take it at the border. They've been doing that. People have lost thousands of dollars worth of product, and they don't care. They're not going to save it for you for later. So anyway, okay, Europe, we are open in all of Europe. Europe has 52 countries. We are open in every single country in Europe. I was over in Nice, France for their convention last October. We had a fantastic convention there in Europe with almost, well, not all, but a lot of the countries represented. It was amazing. So we do definitely have business in Europe. We're happy to help you get set up if you are in Europe. I have Zoomed for a lot of Kabbalah's fans and followers that are in Europe so far. A lot of UK, a lot of you guys are in UK, so we're happy to Zoom with you and help you in any way. Let's see. You speak of detox from parasites. I've even on a detox for 6 months. Herxine is real. It can be, the detox symptoms can be a little rough if you've had a lot of parasites and have had a lot. So look at the different types of detoxes you're doing, because different parasite detoxes impact different parasites. There are a lot of different worms, a lot. And so we want to see, you know, watch what you're doing and make sure, obviously, water, you know, staying super hydrated when you're doing any type of detox is super important. So I love all these questions.
Good questions. Yeah. Good questions today. Yeah. So you would advise everyone to do some kind of parasite detox? I've never done one. Is there a general one, or?
You know, honestly, so there's a man that I met a little over 15 years ago. His name is Solomon. He has since passed away. He was very old, but he lived in the Amish community in northern Indiana, almost right on the Michigan border. And I met him and I started writing letters with him. You know, you don't talk on the phone, right? And so I started writing letters with him about my daughter. And I actually took my daughter up to see him several times. And he introduced me to a line of herbs, tinctures that he had created himself. And he was very, very, very old man. But the company is called Pure Herbs. And you can Google Pure Herbs, and they have just hundreds of different tinctures for different things. There are a lot of different companies that will sell Pure Herbs to you. So I'm not a distributor with Pure Herbs. You don't have to be a distributor with Pure Herbs. But if you go to like pureherbsltd.com, they want you to purchase their distributor pack and whatnot. I've never done that. I always just go to other people's websites. You know how practitioners and doctors, they sell all kinds of products on their websites. I always just Google Pure Herbs, and the parasite cleanse is called WW. And so just Google Pure Herbs WW, and you will find a lot of different sites that you can purchase that from. It's actually on Amazon right now. I had a friend ask me a minute ago before I hopped on here, and there are 6 bottles left on Amazon. So what happened was last month, I said 2023 is my year to talk about detoxes. We know that glutathione is the master antioxidant. This I've been talking about for almost 2 years now from LifeWave, right? I've been talking about glutathione forever, but we know it's important to reduce inflammation in the cells, to open up those glutathione pathways to help to detox the body out. We don't have clinical studies on parasites, so I can't say for sure that it detoxes parasites. I don't have parasites coming out of my body, but I still think it's a good idea every once in a while to do a parasite cleanse. That's what I've always done. It has been a couple of years since I've done one, so I thought, I'll do it again because I know that most people don't. So I started 2023 earlier this month. Today's the last day of the month, isn't it? Earlier this month, talking about detoxing and parasites you want to detox with the full moon because they're the most active. And so I really feel like it's beneficial. When you look at, for example, Dr. Hulda Clark talks about the root cause of cancer, and you can look at parasites in the body. You know, you listen to Anthony Williams, and he talks about the same thing. The parasites, talks about the viruses, the heavy metals. They all talk about heavy metals, parasites, and viruses, underlying low-level viruses in the body. So it's important to get these things out, to open up your pathways, and to do the things to help your body repair and regenerate itself. And so it's kind of like a car. I look at your body like a car. You can't drive a car more than 3,000 miles without getting the oil changed. It's not going to function very well. And so why have we not changed the oil inside of our body? Why have we not given our body, some type of detoxes over the years? Most people are scared. They're scared to detox. Even when I mentioned glutathione, they're like, am I going to be on the toilet? Am I going to be able to go to work? I'm like, well, would you rather have that stuff in your body, or would you rather get it out? So I think it's important to get those types of things out and to be able to help your body to repair itself. And obviously, prevent those things from happening. But if you're in a situation where you're, have a lot of health problems going on, you've got a long list of problems, then we want to look at that toxic load and what we can do to reduce the toxic load in your body, help your body eliminate those toxins, and to be able to boost your immune system, reduce your inflammation and repair. There's nothing out there that repairs like this X39. So.
Great. All right. Any other questions? I'm learning something. It's really been helpful. I really have to thank you for coming back and back, because I've been taking these patches, but I still, it's taken me a while to really understand which one is which. So I really appreciate it.
That's okay. That's normal. And I love it. I love educating. I was a school teacher 30 years ago, been in holistic health, a doctor for the last 20 years. I love to teach. I love to train. I love to educate people. I love answering questions. And as you know, every single Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, I have my own Zoom that I do. Anybody's more than welcome to come to that. And I just share the science and tech, and I answer questions live time, just like we're doing here, except there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that are live on time. And then obviously they watch the recordings later. So very similar to what we're doing right now. So if you're interested in that, my Zoom link is 220-003-9417, and we can put that in the chat as well too. But it's an open, I'm going to share, you can type questions in the chat just like we're doing here. So I love to teach and train people. I love to answer questions. Somebody asked about tinnitus. So when we look at ringing in the ears, we like to use X39 and Eon, one behind each ear. That mastoid bone back here, you can feel that bone. Put a patch on each one of those bones, white. It doesn't matter whether it's the X39 or the Eon, just put one behind each bone. The other thing we like to do is the energy enhancer. The way the energy enhancer works is there are 2 patches with this one. There's a white patch and a tan patch. They work with the polarity of your body. So we would put the white patch right here on the right. Feel that bone right there? It's your TMJ, right? That area. Put your tan patch on your left. Okay. So this is going to help open up the energy channels in this area. And the other thing we like to do when you have ringing in the ears is glutathione. Again, you've got heavy metals up in here. You've got toxicity. So we like to use the glutathione to be able, and you can actually stick it right here, to be able to open up those pathways and to be able to, remove some of the toxins that are in your body. So X39, Eon, glutathione, and energy enhancer to help with the ringing in the ears.
Great. Okay, looks like we're out of questions.
Yeah.
How do you feel about continuing with this? Are you available to, can we do this for another couple of weeks?
I would love to do this every Tuesday. Absolutely.
Great. Okay.
It's on my calendar.
Okay. So I'm just going to bring it over to this month, and I really appreciate it, Dr. Staci. I think this is really amazing.
Well,
Okay.
I love it. I love being here with you, and I love your people. And I have been Zooming the last month with so many of your people and doing consultation calls with so many of your people. And I love how everybody is so happy. They're so nice. They're eager to hear what, what I have to say. I'm so excited to hear what's going on with them. And we just have great conversations. Like, everybody just comes to the Zoom or to the call and they're like, hi, it was so great hearing you. Oh my gosh, I want to hear more about blah, blah, blah. And I want to tell you what's going on. And let's do this. I mean, they're all so nice and friendly. So not that I'm not around people like that anyways, but I just love Zooming and talking with your listeners, because they're right up my alley. They're in all, you can just tell the energies mesh instantly. It's fantastic.
Yeah, they're very beautiful.
Yeah. Totally agree. So I'll look forward to hearing from you, seeing you all again next Tuesday. And then if you have anything in the meantime, of course, just reach out to Guru, and he knows how to get a hold of me as well too. And all the links are here below as well. Yeah, everything's in the show more under all the videos. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, thanks, Dr. Staci, and we'll see you next Tuesday. All right, see you then.